You want to move somewhere warm, safe, and beautiful. And you're thinking Latin America. You heard of the many benefits of Panama. But what about the complicated stuff? Healthcare, visas, making friends in real estate. Don't worry, we've got you. Today we cover just that, as seen in part 1.
We have a skate park. There's a pump track and a half pipe. We have a paddle court. So besides Jane's Treehouse, where we just were, we've got about 8 other Airbnbs on the property. I have been doing relocation tours for about 5 years. It basically saves you time and money. We also include a meeting with an immigration attorney, and we work with some of the best attorneys in the country. So that when you're not looking at real estate options and meeting doctors and talking to immigration attorneys, we can always integrate into your relocation tours, fishing trips, golf, waterfall hikes.
I've spent the past year and a half driving my motorcycle through Latin America, living in each country for a minimum of 6 weeks. This has been one of the most difficult projects I've ever embarked upon, and I really hope you enjoy all this content coming at you now.
First of all, it's the quality of life. I moved here from the United States and you feel like you're in the rat race. Here you have a dramatic drop in the cost of living. The cost to rent here is significantly lower for what you get. Full-time care for our baby for a fraction of what that costs in the United States. Another issue and a huge point that really helped us in our decision to move here was the safety. Number 3 is just the natural beauty, the nature, and having access to places that people come on vacation.
Here we are in our spot number 2, and we're going to talk a bit more about this place that we're located at and about your services now. Let's go ahead and start with the topic of this property and this beautiful location we're at now. Where are we?
So we are at our ranch here in a town called Capira, which is about 45 minutes from Panama. The name of the property is Hacienda by Paraíso, which means ranch in Paradise Valley. So it's about 275 hectares and we've got a lot of cool stuff.
The place is huge. Yeah. You took me on a tour already. So what type of things can you find at this ranch?
You can find all kinds of things. We have a skate park. The kids have a great time on the ramps. There's a pump track and a half pipe. If you like to skateboard, this is a paradise. We have a big pool right by a river. So on a hot day here, you cannot beat this pool. It's so refreshing.
And every day is basically hot.
And every day's hot, so it's always a good day to jump in this pool.
Yeah.
Barbecue area and a parrilla, which is like a Panamanian style grill. If you like paddle, which is a new game that's real popular here in Panama, it's kind of like tennis in an enclosed court. We have a paddle court, pickleball courts. Pickleball's super popular among the expat population here. So we've got 2 pickleball courts. There's also zip lining. So we've got a couple zip lines on the property.
Where we are currently is an island, right? Are there any type of things you can get, like a type of package for accommodation and food?
We're currently on an island in the middle of a big lake here. And we have an electric boat. So if you're staying here in one of the Airbnbs, you can actually take the boat out and cruise around the lake. We've got kayaks, little paddle boats. You can fish in the lake. They're tilapia, so we've got some fishing poles. So there's a lot of stuff to do around the lake. You can get a day pass here at the ranch. So if you have a group, you want to come out and spend a day and just enjoy the property and all of the fun things to do, you can contact me. We can set that up. So it's a lot of fun. Obviously, it's an amazing place. So I guarantee a good time.
Oh yeah. Well, it seems like there are literally limitless amount of things and fun activities to do. You said that there's Airbnbs on the property. The one we just filmed at was the most popular. How many Airbnbs are there?
So besides Jane's Treehouse.
Well, here I present to you Jane's Treehouse. We are currently in Capira, West Panama.
Where we just were. We've got about 8 other Airbnbs on the property. Another popular one is called Tarzan's Treehouse. So it's kind of, you know, we have Jane's and then Tarzan. That was the original treehouse concept. And it's amazing. It's more of a loft. Your bed is looking out over an amazing view of the mountains behind us. It's a really cool spot. So Jane and Tarzan, the tree houses, are the most popular, highly recommended. We also have a house back here behind us up on the hill that overlooks the lake. And besides that, there's another on the other side. We have some horses, and there's a big field where the horses are grazing and a house behind that. So you can stay there, relax, and watch the horses graze. So we have a lot of really cool options.
There are activities for basically any type of interest, isn't it? You have the activities for sports, you have animals for people that love animals, like the horses and the ducks. There's an alligator or crocodile in this lake.
Yeah. So there is a crocodile in the lake. He's small though, so don't worry.
So it doesn't eat people.
Doesn't eat
Not
people.
Yet.
Maybe small dogs, but hasn't happened yet.
Right.
My wife used to ride equestrian, so she's passionate about horses. So of course we have a few horses that you can ride. So as part of your stay, we can arrange for you to ride a horse around the property. So that's a lot of fun.
We just heard a bit of the animals squawking off in the distance. What was that?
Yeah, we have a lot of peacocks on the property. So, you know, peacocks they're amazing birds. They're beautiful. They put their tail up. It's awesome. They make a lot of noise. If you're trying to get some peace and quiet and these guys are in the background doing their thing, it's kind of startling. But it's all part of nature out here. It's, you know,
that's part of the draw.
It's part of the draw. You hear the peacocks, you hear all kinds of different birds and animals. So it's amazing.
So when I was staying in Jane's treehouse, early in the morning at like 7 in the morning, I heard this honk, honk, honk. And then I saw this duck or this peacock waddling on the road past the house. I'm like, what is this? And it was such a loud noise. I'm like, is that an actual animal? And I walked past this proud duck was like stomping past on the road. It was a super funny experience. Airbnb is the only way to reserve the accommodation, and to come to the property, you can contact by WhatsApp.
So to stay the night here, Airbnb is the best way to do that. If you wanted to set up like a day pass and come and enjoy the property with friends and family, you would contact us directly and we customize it to what you want to do, whether you want to include horseback riding, zip line, boat ride on the lake. We can get that all set up in a package for you.
What is the WhatsApp number that they need to contact?
The WhatsApp number to set that up directly would be 6273-7491.
Okay.
Stephanie Castagnet is in charge of all of the accommodations here as far as setting up day passes and any other events. We also do corporate events. So if you have a company and you want to do like a team building type thing, this is the perfect place. So we do that as well. So Stephanie would be your contact. So contact her on WhatsApp and she'll get you taken care of.
That sounds perfect. Well, this place is definitely incredibly fun and a good place to do any type of team building or come here by yourself with a couple. Great experience. Moving on from this really cool property, Hacienda Valle Paraíso, let's talk a bit about your company here, because you have a company in Panama as well. Is that right?
I do. My company is called VIP Relocation Tours Panama. And just as the name suggests, we do VIP relocation tours for people that are thinking about moving to Panama and want to come down here and do an exploratory trip and get to know the different areas of Panama that they're interested in. We focus on private VIP tours for 1 to 8 people. What I do is I sit down with you, we set up a call so that I can learn about what your goals are to move to Panama. There are a lot of options here for living, and there are a lot of different reasons to move here. So we get on a call, we talk in detail.
This is a free video call, right?
It's a free video call.
What platform do you use for this?
So for video calls, I usually use WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the most common communication platform by far here in Panama. But if you don't have WhatsApp, I do Zoom calls or any other platform. We'll figure that part out. The most important thing is that initial call, because for one, you get to know me and it helps me understand what your goals are for moving to Panama. And when I know what that is, I set up a customized itinerary that will include seeing real estate, whether you want to rent or buy. There are a lot of good investment opportunities in Panama, so a lot of people are coming down here, whether it's buying land or buying a house. There are a lot of good options. A lot of people would prefer to rent, and it's also recommended that if you want to come and live in Panama, you should rent first, at least 6 months to a year. Why? Because you don't want to buy somewhere and find out that you don't like it, that it wasn't for you, that you prefer another part of Panama. So we really emphasize like getting you comfortable, getting to know these places before you would jump into buying anything. So I will take you from Panama City to Coronado, all the way to Boquete, Playa Venal on the Azuero Peninsula, and show you rental properties that fit into your budget and your requirements, because you need to know what you can get here for your money. That's one of the most important things. And that's really what these tours are for. Like, it's a deep dive into what it's like to live in Panama. My customized private tours include seeing real estate. They include meeting doctors and medical specialists. Right behind real estate for people moving down here as a priority is healthcare, right? You're coming down here, you might have health issues that you're gonna need addressed while you live here. You wanna meet English-speaking doctors. So we introduce you to the best English-speaking doctors in Panama. We take you to visit the best hospitals that are located in Panama. Most of them are in Panama City and within a 5 to 10 minute drive radius from each other. That's a huge part of it. We take you to meet the specialists and tour the hospitals. Another important aspect is health insurance. So I have a lot of people that are asking me about health insurance. They have health insurance in the United States and they come down here. So what are their options? So part of our tour is actually sitting down with an insurance expert, a person here that we work with that knows all of the ins and outs of insurance, can give you all of the information that you need and let you know what your options are and actually get you quotes, real-time quotes, so that you can see exactly what you can get. There are some limitations involved in insurance here. It's a complicated issue. So it's something that we try to walk you through so that when you move down, you have it all set up.
That's all very helpful, because I know that insurance is definitely no cakewalk, especially without Spanish skills. And you're obviously a Spanish speaker and you have all the contacts, something that you need to provide that service.
As far as priorities moving here, finding a place to live, healthcare, but also getting to know the different neighborhoods. If you're researching online, you're probably finding information about a lot of different places. And sometimes it's hard to really decipher in a Facebook group what's better, what's the best. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of getting your eyes on these places before you would move there. You know, you might have heard of El Cangrejo, for example. Well, let's go take a look at it. You might have heard of
The crab,
El Cangrejo. You might have heard of Costa del Este. You might have heard of Coronado on the beach. It's one thing to see these places in a video and hear people talking about it, but to get your feet on the ground is super important. So this is a feet on the ground deep dive to really, really get to know and understand every area of Panama, so that at the end of the day, I can tell you, like, look, you want to live here, this is what it's like. This is what it feels like to live here in this part of Panama. And I think that's, you know, the best that you can do.
Another reason for living here for another 6 months or a year, as you mentioned, sorry to butt in here, is the fact that Panama has a 2-season type of climate.
Right.
So you want to be able to experience both in order to know what it feels like to be here in dry and wet, because sometimes the differences are drastic. So how is the wet season here? It is obviously dry season. We're not getting rained on. It's midday. Usually during wet season, the rains come in the late afternoon. It is early afternoon now. So how is the wet season in Panama City and where you're living?
Yeah, Eric, that's a really good question because, in Panama, it's always warm. It never gets cold, but we do have these two seasons. It's very important to understand both, right? In Panama City, like Eric mentioned, rainy season, it might rain every day for, 15 minutes to an hour. Storm will roll in like early to late afternoon, you get some rain, and then it goes away, the skies clear up, but it's a little bit more humid. So compared to the dry season where it doesn't rain, humidity levels are lower. These are differences that you really want to experience because you might love it in the dry season. We got a nice breeze, doesn't rain, but if then you come down and all of a sudden at a different time of year and it doesn't stop raining, in areas like Boquete, they get higher rainfall. You can have days where it doesn't stop raining. So that's a big deal because you need to have the right perspective and manage your expectations. So it's important to know how Panama is all times of the year so you don't have any surprises.
Mm-hmm. Super good advice. I've talked to many people that also are involved in relocation and basically moving to a new country, wherever it might be. You need to live in all the seasons available, right? And here there's only two. So it's a really important point. And yeah, those are good things for everyone to keep in mind. It seems like a lot of people like Panama City right now. Is that correct?
Right. There are a lot of people that are thinking about moving to Panama, calling me to do tours. There's more interest now than ever in Panama City, and there are a lot of reasons for that. You've got some of the best restaurants and food in Panama are in the city. You have Old Town, which is an amazing experience. It's my personal favorite part of the city. It's called Casco Viejo. They've got some of the, a bunch of hidden gems, some of the best restaurants and coffee shops. Some of the best coffee in the world is here in Panama, and just a really cool vibe. The city was founded in the 1600s. It's got the old colonial Spanish architecture. It's an amazing ambiance and a really cool part of the city. So people are seeing that and wanting to move to the city, where before, usually it was like, okay, Boquete was the spot. If you were moving to Panama, you were kind of looking at Boquete because it's a little bit cooler, it's up in the mountains, and there are already a lot of expats there. I think the main thing now is that the cultural aspect is more of a priority. When you move down here, if you don't speak Spanish, you want to learn Spanish. So you get all of that experience here in the city. So it's a big draw right now, but there are some people that would rather live on a beach away from the city. You've got really good options for that too. So whatever you want to do, what we do is we set up a very customized tour where we go in and we look at properties based on your specific requirements. We introduce you to other expats. I think one of the best things that you can do if you're planning on moving to another country is actually talk to people that already live there and get firsthand experience there. So we take you to do that. We take you to the best restaurants. We stop in Boquete if you want to go there, as we set you up on a coffee tour so you see the whole process. In the city, we can go see the Panama Canal, go to the Miraflores Visitor Center and watch the ships move through the locks. It's one of those things that if you're in Panama, you have to do it. It's like going to Paris and seeing the Eiffel Tower. If you're in Panama, you got to go see the canal. And
so I actually went to the locks in Colón, which maybe people don't want to go out there. It's not quite so much of an expat hub in that area. Is a little bit off the grid, but I saw the locks there at Agua Clara. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, they have the expanded lock system there. Super big. The big container ships went through. I had a great time watching that. So yeah, your services would include that if they wanted that.
That's part of the customization. If you want to go see that, we'll include that in the tour. We also include a meeting with an immigration attorney so that you can ask all of the questions that you want regarding the different types of visas that you can get. That's one of the most important aspects of moving here is getting the right visa for you. There are a few options. It's really important that you sit down with an immigration attorney and talk about that in detail. And we work with some of the best attorneys in the country.
And they're all English speaking, I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. They all speak English. So communication barriers are not an issue when you do a tour with me. All of the professionals that you will meet speak English, have great reputations, provide great services. I have been doing relocation tours for about 5 years. I only work with professionals that have very positive feedback. I moved here 12 years ago, and if I would have been able to do a relocation tour, it would have been huge for me. It helps you save a lot of time and money. I basically was working on trial and error and made a lot of mistakes, didn't talk to the right people. Back then, it took me a lot longer.
Yeah, moving abroad is a multiple step process. It's not like you just move abroad and you're done. There's a lot of things to consider, and you're basically jumping from step 1 to step 8 when you go through your service, right?
And it's easy if you're doing that and you don't have someone helping you out to skip steps. And if you do that, it'll throw the whole thing off.
Especially if you don't speak Spanish. I mean, that's going to be way more difficult, isn't it?
Exactly. If you don't speak Spanish, if you don't know the right people, it can be a huge problem. So basically what I do is fast forward the process for you. I get you set up. We take you through the whole process. We hold your hand. You meet the right people. A lot of people have had bad experiences. They've met the wrong attorney, the wrong people. And so what we do is we help you avoid all that. It's a fast track with the right people. I've been doing this for a long time. I have made all of the mistakes that you can make. Not only have I gone through the whole process of relocating and getting my visa, but I've purchased property here. I've had multiple businesses in Panama. I've done everything. I've been through everything. I've seen everything that you could possibly see. My goal is to use my experience to help you get through this as easy as possible.
From what I understand, there's a Facebook group as well where people look for this type of information and then where they can contact you. Is that right?
That's right. I actually have a Facebook group for expats. It's called Panama City Expats and Locals. There are about 5,500 people in the group. Many are locals here in Panama City and throughout Panama. It's not only Panama City. We have Panamanians and expats that live in Panama. In addition to that, we have a lot of people that are thinking about moving to Panama. And so there are a lot of great questions being asked in the group. So if you want really good information, this is probably one of, if not the best expat groups on Facebook. It's my group, so I am always participating and answering questions. So besides myself, there are many other people in this group that have a lot of experience and are always available to answer your questions. So highly recommended, get into the group. Whether or not you're here or thinking about moving at any time in the near future, it'll be very helpful.
That's a great first step if you're thinking about Panama. And if you're actually considering your services, how would people find you?
I'm referred a lot just through word of mouth. You can find me in my Facebook group. You can also check my website, www.viprelocationtourspanama.com. Or you can check out my Facebook page, which is VIP Relocation Tours Panama, where I have a lot of videos of tours. So you can actually see videos of tours that I have done, which will give you a very good idea of kind of how your tour will be. I've done a lot of these, and so it's a great way to kind of check it out. And if I do a tour with Mike at VIP Relocation, this is what I'm going to do. And it's a great way to learn about the country and have a great time.
So your ideal client is usually someone looking for a more VIP experience, right? Not someone looking for a commercial big tour of 30, 50 people, right?
That's right, yeah. So we focus on more intimate VIP experience tours. I do tours for one person up to about 8, and it can be just of Panama City, a lot of one-day tours. It could be, 2-day Panama City and beach towns, Coronado and Gorgona, up to a 6-day tour across the country. There are other options to, do a bus tour and get on a bus with 30 other people. That type of tour is very superficial. There are designated places that you get to see, and you might not even care about those spots, but it's part of the tour. With me, it's set up exactly how you want it, so we're only going to the places that you want to see. We're meeting the people that you want to meet. So the customization of it, the fact that we get to really dive into these places and see things that you will never see on a big bus tour, it's a different experience. Some people do like to do the bus tour. For a lot of people, getting on a bus and going across that way is a good option. And we actually do provide that option, but our main focus is our smaller VIP personalized tours.
Gotcha. So for people wanting a bigger tour with a bigger bus type of thing, 30 people, that's also available.
It is available. We do big bus tours, but our specialty is smaller VIP tours, much more personalized and intimate to really get a kind of deep dive into Panama.
There is also a type of adventure tour that people might be interested in. Do you offer that as well?
Yeah, we do. We actually integrate adventure tours into our private tours as part of the personalized aspect of it. If you want to do something like a Monkey Island tour, you can actually get on a boat and go out to an island in Gatun Lake that has monkeys on it that will actually jump into the boat and jump on your shoulder and all that stuff.
Try and steal your bananas.
Yeah, steal your bananas. So it's really cool. It's definitely something to do at least once, and it's a lot of fun. You can also visit one of the indigenous tribes that live in that region. So they call it the Indian Village Tour. And that is more of a cultural experience. It is a really nice experience to go see that way of living that's been preserved for all of these years. That's something that we can arrange for you. Those are two of the more common tours, but we can arrange fishing trips. We can arrange golf, waterfall hikes. So these are things that we can always integrate into your relocation tour so that when you're not looking at real estate options and meeting doctors and talking to immigration attorneys and just seeing, you know, other nice aspects of Panama, you can go out and do those things and just have a lot of fun. We do rum tours, coffee tours in Old Town Casco Viejo. So there's so many things to do. So part of setting up the most customized best tour for you is combining all of that stuff.
So another way to get in contact with Mike here is, like he said, his Facebook, which is?
My Facebook is VIP Relocation Tours Panama. That's my Facebook page. My Facebook group is Panama City Expats and Locals.
And your website?
My website is VIPRelocationToursPanama.com. You can also get me on WhatsApp. So here in Panama, WhatsApp is like the best.
It's the gold standard.
The gold standard. You can reach me at 507, which is the country code, 6614-1448. And if you send me a message on WhatsApp, that's like the most direct way to contact me. But I definitely encourage you to check out our website, our Facebook page, join our Facebook group. You'll get all the best information. Definitely look forward to seeing you when you come down and do your tour with me in Panama.
Well, fantastic. What a valuable asset to have if you are thinking about moving to Panama, getting your foot through the door and trying to make that big decision. Mike is a definitely trustworthy person, and you can check that from what I understand on your Facebook groups. People are giving good comments about you and your services. Guys, if you're enjoying all the content I am providing, I'm giving you some really good assets, really good people to contact. I really hope this is helping all of you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe, that like button, that notification bell. Let us know what you're looking for. Well, thank you so much for watching. Hasta la próxima.